everybody. And am I loud? Is my vocal too loud today? Let me know. Oh, it's my headphone. Good morning, everybody. Good evening for most of you people in the world. People in Europe. It's currently 7. Hi, Stefan. Good to see you back, man. Today, this is my second coffee, so I did not just wake up. I'll wake up too late as usual, but I did not just wake up. And my stuff is ready. And I guess I can talk about it. I just experienced a bug with the console. I had the USB, the sound from the USB coming back being distorted like if there was a plus 18 or 20 dB on the input. Like even if I turned down the gain on the USB return, it was clipping, destroying, was sounding like a pink noise basically. It was not a sync error. I don't know what it is. I have a small video going out to the people over at Behringer really soon on the tribe. I sent that to the tribe and maybe they can explain it. But if it ever happened to you, I just initialized the console, load my scene back again, and it was fine. So hey, St. Louis is MO is not. Hold on, I need to check that out. Where is MO? Being Canadian, I should know that. But I need my Google. What is MO? Missouri. St. Louis, Missouri. Okay. I wonder if I've ever been there. Because I did a trip once with my girlfriend. We rent an RV and went all the way down to Florida, but we made some stop here and there. I need to check out also Missouri, but oh no, I was not close. Actually, yes, I was close because I went to Tennessee. Yeah, so I almost stopped by your city once. Sorry, one day I will visit. Oh, you had that a few times, Stefan? Just the console, the USB, just not being happy with you? Okay, well, good to know, guys. I will let the people know over at the tribe. Yeah, sorry, guys. I'm Canadian. I don't know all that stuff. I'm not even sure of the order of all the province. Because we're so far apart, and I'm next to Ontario, and I don't care about the rest. I'm actually from Montreal. I'm next to Ontario, state of New York, Vermont. That's all I need to know. Don't take any offense, please. I'm joking here. We're having fun. Okay, about the USB bug, I want to ask you guys, how often it happened to you and how did you fix it? If you were to troubleshoot it, do you know what the cause of that will be? Because I just plugged my setup, opened everything, it was crapping the bed, I restart, I reload, I initialize the session, reload, and it went away. But if it's not only happening to me, it's happening to a lot of people like you guys. Like we have a ratio here of like 70% people commenting, so let me know if you know how to fix it, and I will send that to Behringer, and they will probably fix it for us because it should not happen. If you are in a hurry and you turn that up into a PA, it could be really painful for the people listening. So it should not happen. Please, if you can give me any more information about that, let me know. Today I'm trying out something new on my lavalier mic. I'm trying the source expander. Let me know if it's cutting out because I don't really hear it because my headphone volume is low. I hear my voice inside my skull, not to the headphone that much, so let me know. So first I want to say welcome to Pure Rocks 777. I know you are one of my last subscriber. Thank you, man. Thank you for being part of my lovely list of subscribers. We're not that much. We're not that many now, but it will eventually grow up in the future. Thank you very much for being one of those guys. I appreciate that. From Stefan, I just turned the power off and started up again. Yeah, it's just a case of if you turn it off and on again, and most of the time it just reset. But I wish I could be more helpful with that and just say, oh, I reset everything and it went back as it should. And what about you, Pure Rock? How did you manage to fix it, or do you know, have you done something and it appear? If you know that, maybe I can give more information about that. Like Windows, some kind of error. I'm actually on Mac, so I'm gonna guess it's not only a Windows error. Sorry. I'm gonna guess it's a driver issue. I know nothing about how to write a driver or how they really work, but I'm gonna guess it's a driver issue. Question here from German. I think it's German. I'm sorry. I know I told you last week I would Google how to say your name correctly. I'm sorry, man. But you know what? I will say in good Québécois. I will call you now Germain. That's how we say it here. Sorry, man. Okay, seriously, your question. I finally put my hand around the wing and connected my DT70 770 Pro, the 250 ohm. That's what I'm rocking right now. I'm rocking actually, I'm using the 80 ohms. And this is probably where, I know what the question is. So, and the volume was quite low for a live environment. This is a problem with the headphone amp. It's not really the headphone amp itself, it's your headphone. The 200 ohm, the 250 ohm take a lot of power to run. They sound really, really good, but they take a lot of power. So the wing probably has a mid-range headphone amp, and this is probably where you're having a bad time. There is no really workaround other than, I would say, do like me. I sold my 250 ohm to a guy with a good preamp and bought the 80 ohm. Those sound great. They sound, actually, I think they sound better. But yeah, for that preamp, maybe, okay, you know what? If you want to work around, maybe an external preamp. Something that has a lot of power, a quality one that you can maybe plug in the back and use that, because yeah, the built-in one won't cut it because it doesn't have that much power, and the yeah, there's no plug-in, there's no solution, because even if you were to push, even if you were to find a way to push more volume into the headphone amp, you would just distort it. It won't sound good, because once you reach 0 dB, it doesn't go anywhere from there. Sorry. From Pure Rocks 777. Not often, so it's just a driver not loading right. Yeah, I think it's the driver not loading right or something. I usually just go to setup and shut down and restart. And I'll just restart my computer for good measure. Yeah, actually I didn't restart the computer. I tried to plug and unplug the USB from the computer to see if it would reset. It didn't, so I'm guessing it's on the wing side, because as soon as I load everything, the clock changed. the clock changed. So maybe it's a sync error. Maybe. So no, sorry, that happened a few times in a row. Well, I've been myself switching out the wing. Okay. Still getting different. Okay. Then it happened a few months ago. And single. Yeah. I don't know. Okay. Well, thank you very much, guys, for writing that down. I will say that I'm not the only one with that issue, and I will report it, and maybe they can look at it. I don't know. I don't know how to recreate it. That's the problem. When you can recreate a bug, it's easy. You just like every time I'm doing this, it's crashing, but no luck here. Okay. What I was listening to, I'll mix the volume. Oh, the volume in the solo. Okay, let me take a look at that. I think there is in the monitoring section. Make sure you don't have any dimming, but usually when it's solo, this is when it gets loud. Make sure you don't have any dimming in your monitoring section. Because right here, if you have that on, where do I turn it on? Or is it on by default? If it's on by default, hold on, I will try it. If I solo my microphone and I turn it down, no, it doesn't. Is it PFL dimming? If I solo my mic, no, it doesn't. Is there a way to turn that on? I feel stupid. Oh, it's dimming. Okay. Maybe check in that section here if you have anything that should not be on, maybe dimming. Because right there you can see by default it comes with a 20 dB pad on solo. A dimming, because sometimes when you solo an input with a lot of gain, it will be louder than a mix because you don't send something full volume. So maybe check that. Maybe that will fix your problem. Okay. So it's 1:15 now. I think I will try to move on and listen to some bass today. Yeah, maybe it was a PFL dim. Check that, man. Maybe. So we're gonna try to move on to some bass. First, I'm gonna select my bass channel. And I'm gonna reset everything. So this is what we had on the bass 1176 with a dynamic EQ. I'm a really big fan of the 1176 on bass. One of my favorite compressor next to the Ethereal. Actually, on console most of the time I use the 1176, but when I'm mixing pointing at my computer, when I'm mixing song into Logic, I like to use this one a lot. For bass, it's really good. It could be subtle or it could really level out your instrument. Really cool compressor. Okay, so let me raise the volume of that. We are lucky today because we have my great friend Louis-Étienne Sylvestre, a really, really good bass player. He's actually streaming on Twitch from time to time, so I will put a link to his channel, to his Twitch channel on this video on the replay. The guy is good. Okay, let me take the EQ out. I just want to reset it. I will turn it on. Maybe low cut it to 60 because I want to leave it pretty much all the way there, but I don't want him to be really sub low for this example because something I want to do later. I'm out of my way right now. Okay. So I'm lucky enough to know the signal chain of that. We have a Marcus Miller 5-string bass going into a Cali 65 comp already on this board with a Omega preamp. A little bit of EQ there, and that's the signal he sent me. No effect, no nothing, just this is what he sent into his amp. This is what he sent me for front of house. His tone is already pre-EQ, active bass into the comp, into an EQ, but little EQing. It's not mixed ready yet. I think there is room to improve on it. Not because it's not good. The guy is really good. He plays great. He sounds good. But depending on the PA, depending on the headphone you're listening to, you need to adjust stuff for that particular case. If it sounds weird like it just did, it's because it's a loop. So sometimes stuff is looped in and out, and maybe I'm cutting in the wrong spot. Oh, I love that player. Okay. So in the gate section today, we're not going to spend a lot of time on the gate itself. Maybe I want to try something like the de-esser. Some bass player really have that clacking noise, and I want to try it. I want to try a de-esser on it and see how. Somewhere around the 2K. I'm gonna push it. Okay, it's not grabbing right now. Yeah. That's the, I don't know if you can hear, so can you? Yeah. Can't hear the solo. So that's the kind of stuff that I want to get rid of, you know? And everything I want to get rid of. I want to turn down a little bit. It's part of its playing, it's part of its tone. I want to leave it there. But maybe I can turn it down by 9 dB. Okay, I will need to change the gain on that because it's not reaching the threshold, so. It's weird because I'm really loud on the VU. And it's not grabbing. It's not grabbing at all. Really strange. I understand that this is crazy volume right now. We're clipping basically the input, but I didn't know the threshold in the 902 was that high. I should be able, when I'm pressing the solo, I'm hearing enough stuff that I want to turn down. It's weird that the gain reduction do not kick in. Okay, well, it's not working at all. We're here to experiment, so no, not today. Oh, there's a side chain on it. Sorry, I don't see. I'm gonna switch camera here. You see that I have a camera there? I don't see the full screen, so sometimes I don't see stuff in the screen. I have to move around like that to see what I'm doing. So let's go take a look, man. There is no side chain. There's a side chain on a compressor, but there is no side chain section on the gate. It was on the other one. Right there, everything is, actually it's deactivated. I have a solo here. No luck for me today. That's not working on the wing itself. Oh, actually I can turn it on, but no luck for that. So I wanted to try it and it's not gonna happen. It's not working. The dynamic filter. What am I missing here? I feel stupid for a second. I feel like I'm missing something. The dynamic filter. Sorry, Stefan. Try to write down your point here on the compressor or on the, because I'm not sure what you're talking about, and I'm in doubt that maybe there's something in my face that I just don't see. So there. with the chat about 15 second with a 15-second delay on the chat. I'm sorry. Set off the de-esser. Whoa, okay. I'm not sure. I'm still not sure what you're talking about here, but I'm sure you got a point. So I'm gonna check my stuff. I got my USB coming in. If I put on a gate, okay. If I put on a gate, oh wow. Okay. The gate as a key. Okay, man. Thank you. You're onto something. Okay. There is a key here with the bass drum. Now it's on the kit. Yeah, I get that, but is it? We're talking now. Is it a bug? Because when I switch the unit, if the option is not available, it should reset to self. Let me try that again. I'm gonna crank the gain like crazy. No, it's plain not working on that. But you got a really great point. You got a really great point there, man. No, still not doing anything. I think even here the signal is not loud enough to trigger the de-esser. But this is really weird. If I put a should, okay. I will try to report that also as a bug. Sorry guys, I hit the mute button on the right time. Ugh. Whew. Sorry. Okay, maybe I will ask if, well, it's not a problem here, but it should, I think it should reset if I'm setting up a de-esser. If I don't see it on the screen, there's no trigger, there's no key input in. If it doesn't show, I'm gonna ask if it's still there, but I don't hear anything, so it should not affect the signal, but that's really weird. Okay, let's put the bass to normal gain. So this is not working. I cannot get rid of the IN with a de-esser. It doesn't allow it. The threshold on the de-esser is too high. Nothing you can do about that here. Really great point about this, the key, the sidechain key in. I love that. So I can use that. We can use compressor, and I can actually show this time the soul warm pre. I'm gonna try that. So let's go over the stuff that everybody knows, the 1176. Great comp. I'm gonna turn it in and out. Let's smash it just for fun. I like what it does on bass a lot. My bass is now a little more mid-range, but it's like so even. And even if I'm compressing close to 20 dB, is the bass recording too hot? No, I'm actually, okay, let's take a look at that. I'm actually around minus 12 dB. And I'm using the Midas DL251, so that preamp can be clipped. Like I can go in the red and it's not gonna sound distorted. It will, at some point, the converter will be saturating, but it won't allow you to go into digital clipping. Those preamp can be like destroyed, basically. You can clip them all night and they're just asking for more. So no, even I would say that bass is for the preamp that I'm using a bit low. I could go to 6 with the occasional clipping and it won't distort at all. But something that I can try, and I just noticed in my headphone, I'm gonna turn down the compressor. Actually, I'm gonna turn it off. And I'm gonna try to clip physically the bass inside here. this is not something that I would recommend to do. Maybe. But honestly, right now, even if I'm steady in the red, let me know guys what you hear, but from my hand in my headphone, I don't have any digital clipping. Actually, it sounds like a compressor. It sounds like if I was compressing yeah, really sounds like if I was compressing the input really hard. So the console, I think the algorithm of the console is just allow some clipping, and after that it just even out everything. Because of the 30, could be wrong by saying that the 32-bit processing allow you to do that without hearing any digital distortion. Could be wrong. I'm no expert in bit conversion and stuff like that. But what I know for sure is now we're digitally clipping an input, and it doesn't sound distorted at all. Okay, you know what, guys? Give me a minute here. I sneeze, and I don't want to bother you guys with me making weird noise during the show, so I will take a 30-second break and I'll get back to you guys. Sorry. Oh, sound check is done. Right on time. Starting that again. Just give me a minute here. Okay, back at it. So, no, I don't believe the bass is recorded too loud. Because even, actually my preamp will forgive me, and the console itself will forgive me. So, everything should be fine here. I'm gonna turn down the gain again. Okay. Okay, now we have even volume with the compressor on or off. And yeah, like I said, the 1176 is one of my favorite one. It just make your bass like a big block, a big fat block of sound, which is what I want to have for mixing rock band. Where if we're talking about jazz and stuff like that, it's a totally different game. But if we're talking about rock band, I want my bass drum and my bass to be together and give me a good foundation to build a mix. So yeah, 1176, good old classics. Let's move on to the LA2A. We're gonna turn down the gain reduction. Actually, the output, this is weird. I learned that maybe a couple months ago. 1176, I thought this was the input gain, and you had no output gain, and you would play around with the peak reduction and the output gain to set your sound, but actually it's the other way around. The input is set by your gain, what you send into it. The peak level is the reduction that you're adding, it's also linked with the ratio. So the more you had, actually, the more you turn on the peak reduction, it will lower the threshold and increase the ratio. So right now at 60, I'm getting some stuff and some gain reduction, and we're gonna increase the gain. I think by default 40 is unity gain. Yeah, seems about right. I'm gonna have, okay, we're really close here. The the LA2A, I think, has a way, is more subtle than the 1176 because I think the attack and release they're set differently. I think the attack is slow, kind of slow, and the release is really fast. So that way we're compressing a little bit, but it lets the original signal go through just a little bit and then clamp down on the overall. It's a way less aggressive compressor, I think. Let's try to increase the peak. Let's make it extreme here. Oh. We're raising a lot of background noise now. The floor level of that is crazy. I can hear the finger of the bass player now more than if I'm doing this. That's bypassed. And also can you hear the fatness? The low end is getting pumped up just a little bit. This is smashed. The life of it is now gone. Let's go crazy. This is basically a limiter. I have no idea what the gain reduction, what the ratio is on this thing when you turn the gain reduction all the way, but I'm looking at the VU that I sent to the main here on the left. It's not moving. It's just a big chunk of bass. Let's try just with the bass. Can you hear that? We can hear the cymbals bleeding into the pickup. Now I turned off everything. I'm gonna turn it loud for you guys and try to hear. Oh, we got some weird harmonics going here. Some distortion. Okay. Can you hear in the pickup itself? The pickup was a little bit microphonic, and I can hear the guitar playing. I can hear the guitar player and some cymbals in there. if you listen closely to the background, this is weird. They were in the same room, so makes sense. So it's part of the signal. The drum and the guitar are part of the signal now. Well, really quietly, but they're there. Okay, so that was the LA2A. Cool, really smooth compressor. It's there to, this is why this compressor is good on vocal, because it's really smooth, it doesn't destroy your signal. Let's move on to what we got here. What should we try? Source extractor, not much happening here. Okay, Transient Designer. This is my new toy, this is the thing that I just discovered. I like it on the bass drum. I'm not convinced about the snare with this, but I can't wait to try it on bass. If we compress the signal a little bit. Ooh. Hey Chris, welcome. It's weird, it's really adding distortion. Sorry guys, I'm gonna try to be loud so you can hear it on your phone, if you're listening on your phone or a laptop. Oh yeah. Can you hear the guitar now? That's just the bass. That's just the bass. There is nothing else in the mix. You can hear those zip, zip, zip. It's weird. I don't know how this thing is reacting. I don't understand how the control reacting to the signal. The sustain really seems like it's like I'm playing with the threshold of a compressor and a noise gate at the same time. It's weird. If I'm adding attack, let's play around with the EQ a little bit. Let's just add some attack just for fun. I don't feel like the signal is compressed at all. Visually, I don't see anything going down on this view. So I'm gonna assume that there is no compression. I need to take it. Yeah, I'm sorry guys. I didn't do my homework and I didn't check out the SPL Transient Designer, but this thing, the more I play with it, I think this is like a negative ratio compressor the sustain one. Because if I'm turning to the left, you can see the VU is turning down, so I'm guessing I'm compressing. If I go like this, it's like backward compression. It's compressing only when the signal is not reaching the threshold. But it's also like there's a gate on it. Again, I'm not sure to understand the mechanical stuff behind this thing, but I like it. I could get away with it. Let's listen into a mix. I like that. It really makes the bass fit well in the mix. It doesn't move, just keep it there. Sounds to me like it's interacting with the player a lot. I like that. But well, I could see a use for that. Not all the time. Man, it sounds good. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's move on to the soul warm. Let's bring everything else down again. Okay. By the look of it, I'm gonna guess this is an SSL thing, so maybe SSL distortion. Are we still live? Yes, we are. Okay. So sorry, I got a weird notification here. But okay, I believe this is an SSL preamp. I have no idea. I didn't Google it up. I didn't Google it. And okay, let's bring everything down for this one. Make the bass loud. And see, just going in and out if it's gonna change anything. So definitely reducing the low end. And what about the drive? Oh yeah. Okay, that's a bit extreme. But this is really something that I could see a use for. Okay, let's keep it extreme for now and playing around with the harmonic. A little darker. Definitely brighter. Okay. And what about the color? So again, dark on the left, bright on the right. Other even harmonics, yes. That makes total sense. The color, is the color also even odd harmonic? Or no, it's probably just an EQ and you select the harmonics that you want to. And try the extremes here. That's extremely dark. Extremely bright. Okay, I'm curious to try that in a mix. That's super dark. Oh yeah, it can turn your bass into a chainsaw. There is actually a mix knob. It's the drive. 10% will probably won't be hearable. Well, I don't. If I set the trim to 0, that's really subtle. Oh, can you hear? There's a little clip, like click sound when you turn it on or off. Anyway, yeah, on or off. So the mix knob would be the drive. If you are not, if you want less than 10%, don't use it. That's basically what it says. But yeah, 10% I think is fine, and you set the drive. And I don't think there is really a mix knob, because that's probably playing around with the phase, and you could probably get out of phase if you were to blend it in, because it's adding some processing. That's my guess. Could be wrong. 60. I like that. I can make it brighter. This is a really cool toy. I can see that on vocal. Just to like really add some dirt to some vocal. But this is the kind of thing that I would never use with a band I've never worked with. Actually, let me rephrase that. This is something I would only use with a band that I'm working with a lot, and I'm gonna have a talk with the person I want to use that thing on, say the bass player, say, hey dude, I'm gonna try to add some distortion, some even odd harmonic. And yeah. Sense amp. Do we have a sense amp in the console? I'm not aware of that if there is a case, but yeah, sure. If it's in there, if it's in the rack, I can go out of my way today and try the rack. What else? Well, I think that's covering it for the Soul preamp. It's just to give you an idea of what it can do. Yeah, really fun. I can see use for it. If your bass player wants some like grungy tone, that's the perfect tool to get there. But to use with cautious. You need to know what you're doing when you turn that on, especially on vocal. If you're turning that on vocal with floor monitor, I can guarantee you feedback probably right away. That thing will excite the IN and puts more emphasis on feedback because of that. The dynamic EQs are, oh yeah, I need to talk about that. Yeah, we're not done. We're not done yet. Don't worry. It's only been an hour. Okay, so in the effect rack, okay, I can try that. I can try to see what in the effect rack could be applied on bass, and also add that today. I got a really good bass player, and I love listening to that guy. So I've been listening to it for an hour now, and I could be going for another hour if you guys want to stick around. Maybe I will have to take a pee break at some point, but stick around. Okay, dynamic EQ, really fun tool that we have in the wing. Could be useful for a lot of stuff. I really like it, not really to compress, but to correct some stuff, and sometimes help me with other. Let me go out. Let me do my speech about that, and you'll see what I mean. The first thing I like to do with a dynamic EQ is to correct some frequencies that are annoying at the source. This is the first thing I put in my signal chain after the low cut. So if there is anything that is annoying, like, let's say, I'm gonna go extreme here. Let's say that I think the bass had too much of 350. But only when he played some notes. I don't want to kill it. I just want to, when he played that note, I want to turn it down, because that note maybe on his bass is louder. Some cheap instrument, I don't know if everybody knows that, but some cheap bass, some really cheap guitar have some notes that sound louder than the other. Some bass, it's sometimes the A string that is louder, whatever the bass player is doing. He's gonna pluck really hard on the E string, won't do much, but as soon as he needs to play the A string with a feather, so it's not too loud. So to help you with that, to help you even out your player or to even out his instrument, a dynamic EQ like that can be really useful, because those notes will have some frequencies. Let's say we're talking about the A on a bass. We're about 240. 240 will be the range of the A note on a bass. I'm gonna turn it up a lot so you can hear it. So that will be the range that will pop out and be too loud. With a Q of 1, which I was told is around an octave. I'm not sure about that. This is something I've read somewhere. Don't trust anything that you see on the Gear Slot forum. But from what I heard, a Q of 1 is about an octave. So if I want to turn down that octave on the instrument, I can just turn it down by 3 dB. Threshold is set to -20, which is around where I hit. My bass is hitting around -18. So if I don't want to be too extreme and just turn down that octave of the bass, so everything lower that he will do, the dynamic EQ will let it go. The harmonics, the even and odd harmonics of those notes will not be triggered that easy by the EQ, so they won't be turned down, they will be there. But as soon as, let's say, the A note is punched in, it will turn that down to even out the bass, those frequencies with the bass, and even out the instrument. That's what I want to say. In this case here, that bass is great. The bass player adjusts his playing for all the notes to be the same level, ballpark. So what you can do also with the dynamic EQ is use it to make your bass go away. No, sorry. What you can do with the dynamic EQ is make your bass get out of the way of your bass drum. There is 2 ways to do that. You can just set the dynamic EQ for the low end. Let's say I want to do this on maybe 12 dB. I'm putting a low pass on it, and I'm gonna set the ratio to be a little more extreme. 250 is a little high for that, so your bass drum is around, I would say, the highest, the lowest note of your bass drum is in between 40 and 80, so at that octave. So if you are using a really fast release, everything that your bass player will hit below that will be turned down. But the funny thing happened when you set your keychain to be your bass drum. By doing that, every time the bass drum hit, it turned down the bass. This is not something that I would recommend to do if you are doing in-ear and front of house. This is it could play around with the player a lot. You could mix up the player a lot if you're doing that in their ears. But if you are doing only front of house or broadcast and you don't send that signal back to the musician, dude, you're in to have some fun. So by doing that, we're compressing everything in the lows. It must be on below. It must be on below. Oh yeah, right. Sorry, I'm the music is not that loud in my ears. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so it's the other way around. Hold on. Oh, I got a brain fart here. Okay. No, actually, this is... Okay, there's 2 things happening here. I don't want to... Hold on, my sound check is done. Let me start that again. Yeah. So, with this, I'm doing an EQ. I'm not playing with the compressor part of the dynamic chain. If I want that to... I need to switch that to below, yes. And... why do I have nothing? that's this gain. Hold on, I feel stupid now. Want the attack really fast. I want the release also really fast. Thank you, Stefan. Okay, right now the gain EQ is acting okay, good. Okay, I know what I want to do, but I don't know how to do it on the plugin, so I'm gonna ask you guys here for some help. I'm used to do this with the C6. With the C6, you can... Okay, with the C6, you can select a frequencies to... You can select a frequency that will turn down, and you don't have to EQ it and just use it as a compressor. Now I feel like I have to EQ it down. Is the okay? Let me change that. Is the EQ knob? How can I do this? Okay. Now I feel like I'm EQing the signal, and I let the threshold tell me how much it will go. Is there a way to have like a real Q, or I can do it with a Q with a bandpass if I want to. But now is it a maximum of gain reduction that I'm doing here with the gain? Because I feel like okay, no, the EQ is not impacting the sound of the bass at all. Okay. Yeah, okay, it's the above and below switch that changed that. Okay, yeah. So sorry, I feel stupid again, but let me say that. Let me rephrase that. If you want to duck your bass drum, the frequency of your bass drum out of a bass, what you need to do is set the amount that you want to reduce the bass signal. The frequency will be here, so let's say 60 is the middle of our bass drum. Set the Q ratio that you want to reduce it, and the threshold. The lower the threshold, yeah, now it's turning down. Now it's turning down the low end. The kick is turning down the low end of everything. And if I turn on the release, yeah. Okay, now it's working. The key tap must be on pre-fader. Does it change anything? Because I was hearing it pumping. The key tap. What are the options here? Filter, tap, 1, 2, 2. If I'm post fader, it will be, yeah, the trigger will be post fader. But I think if I go to input, it doesn't. Yeah, it's cleaner because it takes in consideration the EQ and the dynamic of everything. Okay, I get that. Input will also work, but it's just Yeah, input will also work, but it's just like the raw input. It's not post EQ, post everything. Pre-fader will be post everything here in the chain. Actually, post fader will bring it here, I think, to just before sending it to the main. So everything that I would do on the bass drum, EQ, gating, compression will affect that signal. Which makes sense, because if my drummers start to hit harder, it will compress more, but the bass drum will not raise at the same level. So it's reacting on the blend of the mic. Yeah, okay, yeah, makes sense. Okay, so that's way too extreme. It's something that I would do. So now, great. I think that's covering it. I think we cover it for now. The dynamic EQ. Do we have anything else that we want to try here? No. I think I want to jump into comp. So I'm just going to take that out. And let's jump to compressor. We got some fun toys here, like the 160. I don't see the on-off button with the camera in my way, sorry. So 160, 3:1 ratio, I like that. Yeah, it's really cool. The 160 is my second choice. Well, used to be my second choice with the 1176, because it's darking the tone a little bit, but it's not in the way all the way. So. Yeah, I like the 160. That's some extreme setting right here, but great unit. Okay, let's move on to the 560, because this one has the over easy switch, and that's the setting for attack and release, fast or slow. And it's gonna change a lot. So that's about the same. Now we are in over easy mode. Let's switch to I think maybe somebody in the chat can correct me, but I think the over easy off is the longer attack and release, and the over easy on is the quick attack, quick release setting. think it's way faster. I don't know if it's just the release or the attack and release, but with the over easy on, it reacts faster. Okay, this one has negative ratio, so this one is infinite to 1. Now, we're gonna try like this. So that's crushing the bass, you know? That's too much. Well, let's try. I didn't play a lot with negative ratio, and what I know of it could be wrong, but I know some of you guys are really knowledgeable in the chat here. Negative ratio is the other way around. Like, if you are hitting a note really hard with a positive ratio, the compressor will turn it down. If you are not playing basically, or hitting not really low, a note really low with negative ratio, it will bring that lower part up and bring the lowest, and not touching basically the peak. I could be wrong, but this is what I understand from negative ratio. If anybody in the chat have the answer for that, that would be great. Yeah, negative ratio equal expander, but yeah, so it's pushing it the other way around. Okay, get you. That's what I thought. It's funny because to me an expander was always the one that you see on the gate. When I'm speaking of an expander, I'm talking about the ratioed gate, not the backward compressor. If I can say that correctly. Yeah, it's an expander. Okay, gotcha. Okay, I think that does it for this one. Really fun one. Negative ratio option could be cool. Let's move on to the drummer. Ooh, that was a long loading time. Let's take the auto attack and release out of this one. Is there a makeup gain? Yes, but there's no makeup gain knob. I like that. Okay, explanation here. Expander lowered the part under the threshold. Okay, hold on. The expander lowered the part under the threshold. Negative ratio compressor. Stretch up the signal above the threshold. Yeah. But after compensating the gain, they are basically the same thing. Okay, let me go back there. So right now, I'm gonna try. Okay. Now, the unaffected track is roughly the same level as the compression. If I go to -3:1 ratio, compressor is not working at all because it's in bypass. Sorry, I don't see that knob. Okay, this is the kind of stuff that I would need to plug that bass here and try it myself to really hear what it does, because now with your explanation, when you say that compensating the gain are basically the same thing, I'm not really sure what I said was right, so I could be wrong. I would need to try it myself and really play around with it. Oh, okay. Let's go to the red compressor. This is not something that I play a lot with. Oh, that's the makeup gain. That's the threshold. Is it me or the red compressor is really colorless? Like, I don't hear any major difference in tone versus the dry one. Maybe my ears are tired now. But yeah. Really subtle. Really subtle comp. I'm not sure, I tried to like that compressor, but I'm not sure what to do with it, honestly, and I don't know what to expect from it, and I don't know, I'm not vibing it at all. Okay, something that I tried a lot of time, the Soul 9000 in the plugin, in the computer as a plugin. Let's put the release to 150, 3:1 ratio. So I'm gonna guess here that the peak is the attack. Oh no. Is it the detector? Oh, it's RMS and peak, okay. So fast attack, fast release. If I set the threshold to 0 at fast attack, it's gonna compress a lot. Yeah, it's really clamping down fast. That's more musical. Is it me or this one is... I'm feeling like I'm putting a plexiglass in front of my bass player. I know I'm compressing a lot here. Is there a way that I can make up gain? Yeah. Okay. I really feel like this one is I know the compressor in the wing should not apply harmonic distortion or unwanted stuff, but I think this one, the result of this one is adding, is losing something in the high end. Maybe it's my setting here. But to me, it colored the signal a little bit. My hair could be tired, like I said. We've been going at this for an hour and a half now. So okay, not bad. Not my favorite choice again. Oh, I'm curious to try this one. With the auto release attack, can we go 10? No. I feel this one to be really transparent. but the attack and release on this one is quicker than what I had on the other comp. But I can hear it less. Maybe it's in my head. Let's crank it. I don't hear it. I don't hear any major difference with compress and uncompress. Let's try a quicker release. Start to go super fast. We're heading distortion now. I like that. I like that distortion. It's almost like the preamp that we had before, but it's really useful, I think. And see with the attack to 0.3, it's less. Okay, the distortion is caused by the attack being really fast. Distorted, more distortion. When they are both really fast, it's had a little bit more distortion, for sure. I don't know. It could be my eyes, but I feel that this one is closer to what I like. It's not like 1176, but it's closer to something that I like. We're gonna go for a long time today, so we'll take a 1-minute break. Stick around. I'll be right back. Okay, back at it. I think we covered the Soul compressor. Let's go to the Neve one. My new friend, the Neve one. I know I've said that a couple times, but every Thursday and now some Saturday, I mix a band in the studio called Raffi, and I start to use that compressor on her vocal, not the plug-in one, the real one. We're lucky enough to, that studio is lucky enough to have one of these. This is my lead vocal in when we have guests. It's my guest vocal compressor. Really cool. I'm smashing the hell out of it. I'm using the compressor and the limiter on her vocal, and it sounds really, really good. It's keeping everything under control. So I didn't try it on bass. I'm really curious to try it on bass. Let's take a listen. Let's go to 100. Compression minus 18. 3:1 ratio. And we're not going to use limiter for now. Okay, really subtle again. Oh. That's the end of the sound check. Let's go. Now I'm trying with fast attack. Do we have distortion on this one too? Okay. Doesn't change a lot. Doesn't change a lot. Is it me or it's getting darker? Well, to me, even with that high amount of compression, it's a really transparent comp. I was expecting more out of that. I was expecting more color. Let's try the ethereal. Minus 18. Stack 15, 150, 3:1. No gain. No gain limitation. Okay. I don't hear a lot of difference. Let's crank it too much. Not a lot of color, but the fun thing about this one is the amount of gain reduction. The limited amount of gain reduction that you can choose. So I see the Ethereal more as a tool than a color box. Not much difference with this one either, huh? Like I said, the real difference with this one is the anti-log curve for the release and the amount of gain limitation reduction. The fact that you can set a maximum of gain reduction with it, that would be the use of the Ethereal now. But yeah, I'm not really sure about the Ethereal anymore, especially on bass since I've tried everything else now. Okay, so not much going on here. Fairchild. This one, I don't really know the piece of hardware a lot. I had it for a year as a plug-in and I never really used it, so. Let's try to see what we can do with the Fairchild. I can... Okay, I definitely have that plexiglass feeling on this one and maybe some less low end, or the way it reacts with the low end. Again, let's crank it. I tried to make it really crush it, but I think I will need more gain. Okay. Input gain. The input gain is how you set the threshold. Well, actually, there's a threshold too, so. I'm gonna try to destroy the signal with it. Definitely adding some distortion. Definitely turn my bass into a square wave. But But if I don't go that extreme, actually, I want to try to understand that beast. So I'm gonna turn down my bass back to 0. So input -20. If I set my input to 0, that's okay. And the bias thing is just an offset. Anybody have any experience with the Fairchild that can tell me what the DC bias is doing? I think somebody told me the other day, but I don't recall. I don't recall what it is. My mind. I don't remember what it is. So if anybody know what the DC offset is on the Fairchild, or if anybody wants to Google it while I'm trying to search for it. So that's the time release for sure. Okay, I'm not really sure about the Fairchild again. Not one of my favorite. No stressor, which is the last one we didn't check out yet. I had the chance to play bass for fun. I'm not a bass player, even if I got one back there. Back there, anyway, there. Even if I have a bass, I'm not a bass player. I play for fun, and I was lucky enough to plug a bass into a distressor once, and I remember it being really good. I'm gonna try 3:1 ratio, attack the 4. That's a lot of compression, and I'm gonna even out the level. 2.5 output. As far as I understand, if you treat that unit well, it should be really transparent. I think the real hardware was more transparent, but I could be wrong. Okay. Let's go extreme. This is closer to what I was expecting. This compressor, I'm smashing my bass by 20 dB compression, and I don't hear much. Oh, maybe I'm having a bit of distortion. Okay, Yeah, not that much happening here either. It's not coloring, it's really the way it compress. I like that. Okay. Did we cover every comp so far? I think so. Okay. So I was asked to go into the effects processing. The first one that I normally use on bass live only because in the studio setting it doesn't make any sense, but let's try the Midas Monster Sub. This is the new addition to the wing. It was recently added as a plugin, and this thing is monstrous. So now I got no compression on the bass at all. I'm gonna show you what it does. I'm gonna keep the drum really low for that, but can you guys hear the low end that this is adding? I'm just gonna put everything to 100. This is an octaver, basically. This is there to add the really, really low end of the spectrum that maybe the instrument itself doesn't produce, but if you crank it, it would have it. There's a tune knob. Right now I'm at 67 for the middle band. Basically the tune is the middle band. No, the tune. If I go lower, I'm gonna start to push stuff in the 30s. I don't even know if YouTube can go that low. You can't hear anything on your iPad? Probably, because if I remember correctly, the speaker crossover on the iPad is 190. So right now I'm pushing a lot of, with the knob all the way down, I'm pushing a lot of 20 hertz. There's no way you can, your iPad maybe will vibrate, because I don't think honestly you can. Even me with headphone, I'm gonna try to turn down everything here with only 30 left, and I don't hear anything. My headphone don't even vibrate, so maybe the headphone preamp has a low cut at 30 and I don't hear it. I'm gonna try to raise 45 here. And 45 is the lowest I can hear. Well, I don't hear it. I think I feel it more in my headphone than hearing it. I'm gonna try to push it so somebody with a subwoofer will hear it on YouTube. It's not a note anymore. It sounds like if a big truck was like it was taking a bump in front of my house. It's just like a rumble. It sounds like an earthquake, basically. If I raise 67, I hear some weird rumble. 100, you can hear it. But yeah, I can turn down 30 and even 45 for my bass. So for those of you listening to this with a sub or really good speaker, this is just my bass, and we're gonna slowly go all the way. That's where I start to hear the 65, and actually I can leave the 45. So earthquake coming in. That sounds like if the bass player had a octaver on. At 70s, the octaver is overpowering the bass. And that's just the octave. My iPad, oh, okay, yeah, we'll try to, well, I'm at 60 now, but even then. You think you can hear, I can go lower? Oh, wow. Okay, I'm gonna do this again with my my low pass off, but I don't think it's gonna change anything. I got my low pass off now, sorry. I don't hear anything. In my headphone, nothing is happening now. I don't even... Oh, I heard something like a really, really low. Yeah, at 45, wow. 45, I still hear something. 60 is there, 100 is there. But turn the kick off. That's just the bass. And I'm gonna try that again. The VU is showing some, I don't know what it is. It's not a note anymore. It's not frequencies, but that's like a really loud low end. But in my headphone here, I got nothing. I hear something. Wow, that's weird. If I go 60, yeah, I can hear that. And of course 100. But no. I don't hear anything under 30 hertz. It doesn't even rumble my headphone, or maybe just a little bit. So maybe if I had thousands and thousands of watts of subs in front of me, I could push something, but now I'm just moving electricity. There is no air to be moved at that frequencies in my headphone, or I don't know if YouTube even reproduced that, because I'm gonna guess they have a low cut at some point. I don't think you can actually translate 10 hertz into YouTube. But let's try with let's try something useful. I can do this. Actually, what I like to do is turn on the 2 knob all the way, because that's the first band is 30 and I don't hear it, so I can try something like this. I don't want to put any emphasis on 100, but the low end, yeah. If I want to make the brown sound, that's how I would do it. Okay, that's cool. What else? What else do you guys want to try? Yeah, I can hear 45 on the headphone, but that's the lowest I can hear. I don't hear anything under that. What else do you guys want to try? I'd be curious to try the res, the body res. I know this is made for acoustic guitar pickup, but maybe it can be fun to use on the bass. try in the mix. So that's off. I can see. Rack amp, okay, it's coming. I can see a use for that. The acoustic pickup enhancer. Maybe not extreme, but to add some creamy tone to my bass. I like that. Okay, I like that. That TC Electronic pedal. So the rack amp, okay. Well, that's the Sans amp. Let's try it on or off. That's on. So that's... Oh, even on bypass, there's something happening. Or no, there's nothing happening. Okay, so now I'm not bypass. I just have the basic setting of the unit. That's bypass. What is the cab simulation doing? Okay. Okay. So that's the output gain. That's the drive. Yeah. Whoa, sorry guys. It's probably gonna get nasty here. and the sense amp is really sounding like I think it's tried to emulate a old MPEG amp cracking. I think it does. It's close. It's in the mind of. It's, you know, it's pushing you there. If you want that Cliff Burton sound or that death metal bass tone, this is a tool you could use. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. If somebody would show up to a gig with nothing and said, I want to sound like an amp, I could get away with it. That's nice. What else can we try? The EQs and stuff won't do much. The Psycho bass. Ooh, I think this is also. I think this is close to the DBX. That's really loud. So, is this, anybody know if this is supposed to be a octaver or is just a bass enhancer? Oh, we're done here. Let's do it again. Sounds like another kind of octaver. Yeah, I've put it on solo to hear what it does. Now it's not. That's on solo. crank the sensibility. That's so low. That's not. That's both. Well, I don't know if I would use that, honestly. It's adding stuff, but I don't know. I just don't feel it. Okay, let's see the sub-octaver. Ooh. Okay, so that I know this is a Boss pedal, but that is totally removing the original signal, right? Yeah, that's totally taking out the original signal. Why is it not bypassing? Where it says press, it should bypass. Come on, people over at Behringer. Okay. Also in the same categories. Oh, you have the mix control on top, yeah. But I think this one is more like a bass synth. It's like replacing the original signal. Like the real pedal I know is just destroying the original signal, and you only have the octave 1 and 2 that you can use. Okay. Something else that I want to try. Some of you may know that old secret. The Metallica bass tone is a JC120. Live, they're using a JC120 in a high-soul box, or they were before they were using XFX. But it used to be a JC120 in an ISO box with the chorus on. So on this one there is no chorus, but I'm curious to see how it will sound on the bass. No EQ. Everybody thought on Metallica that the sound was in the MPEG, but actually, yeah, it's a JC120. Let's listen to this in a mix. That's the bass, basically DI. With the amp. It's a choice. I mean, it's not affecting the mix a lot, but it's definitely a color. Really nice. What else? Is there anything else that I've missed that you guys want to try out on bass? Maybe some stereo stuff. I didn't try the limiter yet. I can try that for sure. But I don't usually put a limiter on instrument. Like, if I do, it's because the player don't know how to play. But this is something that I do a lot of time. In my mixes, I try to stereo out my bass because every guitar now and every guitar simulator now has a stereo room effect, and I think it's unfair for my bass to be mono, so I like to use like rotary stuff like that on my bass to make it wider. Can you hear that the bass is now stereo? I'm gonna try to turn it on or off. You will hear mono and stereo. That's the mono bass. Stereo. Now I'm pushing it to the extreme with the rotary. That's maybe a little over the top with the mix that high, but if you blend it like 50-50, the bass is really going from mono to stereo. Before I move on to the limiter, I want to also try a chorus of some kind. It will be in the other rack. Hey, I said in the other rack. Hey, come on, man. It doesn't want to let me choose. Okay. Oh, it's because I'm in the wrong side of the effect rack. I wasn't here. I need to be here to have both. Okay. So a chorus. Where would I find a chorus in there? Stereo pitch could also do it. You know what? We'll try it. I need to go from here. And I want to no, not there. I want to insert this. There we go. Stereo pitch. This is a guitar player who showed me that a couple years ago. When you want to have a guitar to sound really wide stereo, like Metallica's using all the time, or other 80s band were using a single guitar player and it felt like really stereo but only one guitar. The trick is to use a couple cent on each side of pitch shifting. So if I want my guitar here, or my bass actually, to feel really stereo, I can use No, it's not working the way I want to. But if you have the opportunity to change that, what you want to do is to have a mono source and pitch shift each side of that signal, do a copy and pitch one side down, one side up, and you'll be surprised how wide things will get. Chorus. Ooh. That's chorus. That's a lot of chorus. Maybe we're gonna start with a mix of 0, and that will be a lot real quick. Yeah, even that 50% is too much. To show you what I'm doing with the chorus, take a listen to this. It's wide, it's huge. That's mono. If you're putting 10%, you notice it's there. Well, you don't know it's there, but if I take it on or off, you will feel it go in and out. That's mono. That's what it on. It add an extra depth and width to the signal. It's feeling really wide. Let's move on to the limiter. Precision limiter. There we go. So I'm gonna turn down -18, and we gotta crank it. I would like to know what is the squash button on the limiter. I was using the limiter on the live stream mix bus yesterday to get more volume. Yes, using a limiter on a mix bus will give you more volume because you limit the maximum of, you limit the peak of your signal at the maximum, and you increase the floor actually. So you're reducing the dynamic of the band, and you're sending out with a roof of a maximum of, let's say, -0.1 dB. So that way you don't digital clip anything, and you can have a really loud mix. Your low part of your mix are really loud, and the loud parts are turned down, and you're really sending like a brick wall limiter into that stuff, so into the output. So let's take a listen to this. The knee on the limiter is the curve of the limiting, because there's a curve like on the compressor. And the squeeze, what is the squeeze? I'm gonna put the release to be really fast. Okay, I'm gonna leave it to 3. Can the squeeze be I feel like it's adding more distortion. I don't hear much of a difference, honestly. Maybe some harmonic distortion. I'm sorry, I would have to read on that. I don't hear a lot of difference. Maybe if we try on my main bus limiter. Let's take a listen to that. I'm gonna go main out. My limiter here. I'm gonna push stuff in it. What I think the squeeze button is doing, it feels like everything is coming more forward, but I don't know what it is. Is it like a compressor where you change the ratio and everything is or it's adding distortion? I don't know. But everything feel more forward. I mean, it isn't. The name for the knob is good. It feels like everything is more squeezed together. I don't know what the real function of that would be, other than increasing the ratio in a compressor style of effect, but I can't tell you. But it makes everything feel more like squashed together. There's no manual for the wing. This is why I'm doing those videos. Honestly, there's no manual at all, and it makes sense that there is no manual on the market, because every firmware update, every time they would release a firmware update, they would need to re-edit the guide because everything is changing. I mean, a couple firmware ago, we didn't have the option to change the block from here. How you do with her? I know there's a way to reorganize the block here, and a couple firmware ago you had to go somewhere else to pick up the name and stuff like that. So having a manual is not useful because the company would need to rewrite it every patch, every firmware update. So it makes no sense. I know it's frustrating for the user, but it makes no sense for them to do a quick a guide, and then if at some point they do a version 2.0, the whole guide is gonna go to garbage because it's not good anymore. So yeah, it was true for the analog gear where you couldn't update anything, but now because everything is on the screen, they can add or remove knobs that were there, or I think you get the idea. So yeah, I'm sorry, Google and me are your option here. Google the forums and ask me out stuff, man. I like to do those videos, so ask me anything. I will try to help you out if you have any question about anything about the console. I don't know all the in-depth of every unit in there, but I can definitely get you going if you need to do a show or if you need to do something. So okay, I think we're gonna wrap it up for today. We've been going at it for 2.5 hours already. If you guys have any more question in the chat, ask them. Oh, sorry. If you guys have any more question, ask them in the chat. If you're watching this as a replay, please ask it in a comment below. I will introduce that question into I try to do a weekly video with viewers' question and comments. So yeah, feel free to, oh, thank you very much. My video are so helpful. Thank you, man. I feel like I'm not doing this for nothing. Thank you. So yeah, like I said, if you have any more questions, leave them in the comment below. I will introduce those into a viewers comment and question video that I try to do every Wednesday. I didn't do one last week, I'm sorry. I was busy. It's a good thing, I'm busy. I'm mixing like every, last week I did 3 shows with the band Raffi in the studio. I mixed the live stream there. So yesterday, what the first time? Yesterday was one of the first time on the wing, and it felt like I used it for hour watching your live stream. Oh, thank you, man. Well, you probably know your way around a console. It's not the first time that you're stepping on a console for sure. Thank you very much. Thank you, man, for watching that stuff. Like, if it's helpful, if it's only helping one person, I feel like I'm doing something good. If more people are watching and enjoying that, and if it can make you a better sound engineer, if you know what you're doing right away when you step on a console for the first time, well, thank you, man. It makes me feel really good inside. Thank you. Thank you. So that's it for today. Please remind to don't cut the mic. Hi to everybody who's following Glenn Fricker here, and we'll call it a day. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. Take care of yourself, and I see you all later.